Part 4, practice writing alternative text.
Okay, so now's the fun part. We're going to apply what we just learned to some real images, and you're going to get some time to practice. I'm going to go through 3 examples. I'm going to give you the image and the context with the image. I'm going to ask you to think about whether it's decorative or is it providing content. And if you think it's providing content, think about or write down on your own what you think should be in the alternative text. All right, let's do this. Okay, this is example 1. So this is an example of a visual with text content from a website called Crush Your Money Goals. Okay, there's an image of Bernadette Joy next to a block of text. I'm going to highlight the image. What's within the frame of this yellow circle? That's what we would consider writing alternative text for. Okay, so for those of you who can see Bernadette's image, take into account the context with it. I want you to think about, is this decorative or is it providing content? All right, and I'll read you the text that's on the screen. Are you ready to stop letting money rule your life? Afford the life you know you deserve. Find freedom in your finances. Stop tedious tracking and boring tasks. Grow your wealth and emotional health. And break generational curses and build generational legacy. I'm ready. Okay, so hit pause. Think about whether or not this is decorative or providing content. This is an image that's providing content, okay? So the next question is, how would you write the alternative text for the image? Hit pause if you want to practice. Let's look at how I would write the alternative text. Okay, so I put it here in this purple box. Bernadette smiling and standing in front of a wall with colorful graffiti. She's wearing casual clothes and holding a book with the words "Just Chillax" on the book cover. Okay, so you don't have to go into great detail about everything in the picture. Give the user what they need to know. This visual focuses on Bernadette's image and her message to her customers. So that's what I focused on when I wrote the alternative text. All right, so that was example number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, example number 2. So this is an infographic from a website called Coffee-Rama. Put the website here on the screen if you want to visit it yourself. So the text on the screen here appears immediately before the infographic. So I'll read you the text. Want to know how to brew a perfect pour-over coffee? Our friends from Kitchables created this no-fuss infographic for everyone to have a quick crash course on proper pour-over brewing. All right, so this infographic includes images and text. All right, so we're going to work with what's within the yellow highlighted part of the infographic here. So I think we can all agree this is providing content. It's definitely not decorative. Okay, so we want to provide alternative text. Now the big question is, how would you write the alternative text for something like this? Okay, in general, for infographics like this one, you need to include all the text that's within the image from top to bottom. Okay, now there's also small images next to some of the text, like in the list in the middle part. And you would have to make a judgment call as a content creator whether or not those small images are also providing information to the user. So for example, on the first line, it talks about using a gooseneck kettle, and there's an image of a gooseneck kettle next to it. Gooseneck kettle isn't a super common term, so that might be something you would want to provide alternative text to so that people can understand what it looks like and that sort of thing. Now, here's an extra tip. This kind of relates to infographics because describing this infographic is going to be pretty lengthy. There's a lot to write within the alternative text. Now, some software will give you a character limit for inserting alternative text into the field they provide, okay? If you're using HTML, there's technically not a character limit, so keep that in mind. But from what I understand with screen readers, once the alternative text is starting to be read using the reader, you can't pause it and you can't like go back and forth. Like it's just going to keep going until you get to the end. And if you want to hear it again, you have to start it over. So you don't have full control as a user. So the tip that you could do, instead of putting it into the alternative text field with whatever you're using, you could write a long description within just the text of your content somewhere near the image, right? So it could be immediately under this image, and you could title the section image description and then provide the description from there. Then all of your users have the image description. Okay. If you ever follow me on LinkedIn in my posts, you'll see examples of how I do this with the images. When I provide an image with my post, you'll see I'll include a section that says image description after the post, and it'll describe the image to everybody. Okay. So go and check me out on LinkedIn. Just look for my name, Lori Nikasik, and you can see some examples of that. All right. So this tip is a really great practice for accessibility that actually provides benefits to everyone in your audience, especially when there's a complex image like a diagram, for example, that might be visually overwhelming for just anyone to even look at, and there's a lot to take in. It could having a long description could bring a lot of clarity to your audience. So that's example number 2. All right. Example number 3, let's imagine you're looking at a website and it includes the text and the image that's on the screen here. I'll highlight the image for you and I'll read you the text. Building a relationship is important to me. I take the time to get to know you and your needs. All right. So first I want you to think about, is it decorative or is it providing content? So this is an example of a decorative image. Now it's totally a judgment call, but to me, this doesn't require alternative text. It's more there for visual appeal. Okay. So it's not providing any additional content to the user. And that's now, again, it's totally a judgment call. If you're the content creator and you think this is important to describe to your audience, by all means, go ahead and do it. Just be succinct in your description.
How I would write the alternative text.
So 2 women are sitting across from each other in chairs. They're making eye contact with each other and are engaged in a conversation. Okay, so you can provide that. So it's your decision as the creator when you're going to write it or not. When in doubt, write it out. That's my rule. And even if you're not sure, it's better to lean on the side of making it accessible by providing the alternative text so that you're not creating an access barrier. So that wraps up our practice session with alternative text. Give yourself a nice pat on the back for practicing today and learning. I'm proud of you for taking the time to learn and try something new if this is a new skill. And if you've done it before, it's awesome that you're practicing even more so that you can strengthen that alternative text muscle, so to speak. So great job. Last thing before I sign off with you today, especially since we've gone through the pandemic, we've seen how important it is to access digital content for everyone to function in society. And it's important as a civil right for all of us to have access. And if we leave people out without giving access to digital content, we're violating civil rights. And it's time to be inclusive. So I'm grateful that you took time today, not just for yourself, but to help others. And if you'd like, I am offering a free guidebook that covers all the information that we did today at allaboutaccessibility.com. So jump over there and get your free guidebook on my website. It's a great resource to have at your fingertips while you're working. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at my email, lori@allaboutaccessibility.com. You can also follow me on LinkedIn, where I'll be giving more practical accessibility solutions on a regular basis. So stay tuned for more. So thanks again, and hope to see you again soon.